It's late, it's past bedtime, but in the Two-List family kitchen, there is blessing of food, and here, blessing of argument and petition going tomorrow. I've got 2 pages left to make final edits on, and they'll be here. So what I'll be doing tomorrow morning is reading this line by line on paper with the last edits, and often in the margin, in the last 2% of a document, there is the most important change that could be made often. So here, this is reply to respondent brief defending program and suspension. So I have a background section, and then the court's authority to provide relief. This part right here is two pages, and it makes the most insane argument. The commissioner's brief makes the most insane argument that the court essentially has no testicles. It can't give relief to end the fraud because its review is constrained by the UAPA, the Uniform Administrative Procedures Act. This is the most poisonous argument I think I've ever encountered. Pure Jesuitry, pure Jewry, pure Pharisaism, word twisting, the Gumby words, the Gumby meaning, where thought is made impossible. You read the brief from the Commissioner of Revenue in Tennessee, and you can't think. It is a stifling, asphyxiating vocabulary and usage that it argues the Commissioner through the Attorney General argues. And so that's here. And then I get to the main sections. Section 1 is the certification issue, and the second section on page 16 is the authority for the hearings. And what I'm arguing for is that the Commissioner of Revenue can't hold hearings under the TFRL, which is the Tennessee Financial Responsibility Law, because every hearing in the TFRO to which a citizen is entitled is here in the Department of Safety. And so the hearing for 2 years is in a department claiming authority in Title 67, which is the tax law, though it is a Title 55 motor vehicle contested case. However, due process requirements in the Financial Responsibility Program are satisfied by authorized pre-suspension hearing in Department of Safety. Hearings in revenue are not otherwise specifically provided. And that's all I say. I mean, I show this to you because some things can be short. And then there's a section on issues I briefly, including the bogus use of legislative history. And I point out that blurred signposts to criminality will not suffice to create it, U.S. versus CIO, and that's from 1948. And if there's any ambiguity, it always resolves in favor of the citizen. And you have a right to notice if the law is unclear, it's ambiguous. You don't know what behavior is prohibited or what actions are required, and therefore your liability is none or less. So this section right here deals with legislative history and the purported ambiguity in the law. I'm saying the law is perfectly clear. And another one is due process rights. The commissioner says that due process does not require a hearing before suspension. Well, that's just pure nuttery. And another one is constitutional rights. In the Perkey case, I'm arguing that my assertion of constitutional rights are twofold. I have non-disjunctive rights, the right to commerce and the right to travel. And so they're trying to shoot me down for bringing up the travel argument. But you're concerned about travel, the right of free movement, free ingress, egress, locomotion, self-propulsion, the mobility enjoyment of your constitutionally guaranteed rights under God. And so travel has to be presented in this case as it has been. This case record is full of the right to travel, as is called in some, the right of free use of the road. And that's why the paperwork's important. Of course, it's a lot to go through, but it's all there. And I have been making this argument for God's glory, for your benefit. And so bow tie will know, and in making the case for liberty under God in Christendom, we all come out ahead.